Hello, my name is Tristan Arnold, and this is currently my final build for Tournamental, our tile-based game where we had to create a mechanic and then pair it with a partner mechanic created by another student. Here I have my own level. This is based off of a darkness tile. Um, it's inspired by The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Essentially, by walking into a tile, you take damage. By pushing the light box, you can safely traverse the darkness tiles. And then whenever you get to the end, you move on to the next level. From here, I incorporated it with the magnet. The magnets can either pull or push, and when combined with the darkness tile, this allows you to create puzzles that may have required a little bit more work. Now, as you can see, the difficulty curve can increase substantially with this mechanic. From here, we go around traversing the level, dealing with the magnet as it takes away our light, leaving us in the darkness. From here, you can create fun little mechanics where if you can't move the block, you can press on the button to change that. From here, we've got this, planning it to get to the stage. And that is the level. From here, we're going to go into the Unreal Engine. First, I will show you the darkness tile. The darkness tile, at the beginning of the play, it will hide all of the walls and have the player take damage consistently within the darkness tile by using a set timer by event. It'll take the current entity that is within the tile, and if the player is in the tile and the tile is not lit, then it will play the whooshing sound that you heard, and it will start draining the player's stamina by an instance editable variable. And after a short time, the time will stop. And once the player hits 0 or less stamina, it will reset the map. From here, every event tick, it'll check and see if a tile is lit. If it is, then it will change the color of the tile to match either white or black based off of whether it is lit or unlit. And then it will reveal the walls. From here, it'll grab all of the darkness tiles, and if the wall is adjacent to a darkness tile, then it'll light the walls, and it will reveal the magnet buttons, which are also hidden by this same rule. By taking the by hiding this cube component and revealing the small darkness tile that is hidden in there. So the hiding or the appearance of other objects as a darkness tile is mainly just through a light trick. So we have the regular color and then we have darkness. From here, they take damage when entering a tile, which is the same function that I showed before. Now, the main functionality for the light block. The light block is the bread and butter of this mechanic. First off, at the beginning of play, we will set timer by event. I haven't named this event, my bad. Every zero point 0.1 second, or I believe that is, yes, every 0.1 second, it will light the tiles around the block. So this is where it gets complicated. So it will take the current tile, get the neighbors of it, get the values of those tiles, so it'll grab each of them. And for each of those, if it is a darkness tile, then it'll set it to being in range. This means that it is in range of a block. From there, it will identify each of those tiles that are its neighbors and use that to grab the tiles in the top right hand corner, bottom right hand corner, far right to create that star shape, doing that in each direction. From there, it'll just, if this is the top right hand corner, then it will take the tile that is to the right of the lit block, take the one that is up, and we know of that, and we know that it is the top right hand corner. If it is a darkness tile, it'll be set to in range. We repeat this for each one and eventually put it into an array. I never ended up using that array, but it's nice to have just in case I need it for in the future. And this grabs the tile that the box is on and lights it, just grabbing the current tile variable from there. After that, we will activate the interaction, which will grab all of the darkness tiles and set their isLit variable, which is over here in the darkness tile, isLit, which affects damage and the color of it, and set it equal to their inRange variable. This makes it so that the light is a little bit less jarring and is more of a gradual change that'll happen all at once. With that, we have our final interaction, which is whenever a block is pushed, it will hide the tiles that are outside of the range. So each time that you push the tile or call this function, it'll get all the darkness tiles, and then for each of the darkness tiles, it'll set their end range to being false. This makes it so that the tiles themselves will unlight whenever they are out of range of the lit block. Next, we have the magnet. The magnet is definitely the most complicated part of this. At begin play, we will start the tile appearance timer, and based off of whether the magnet is a pull magnet or not, we will either trigger the pull or push magnetism. Whenever tile appearance comes up every 0.1 seconds, it will check whether the magnet is push or pull after the button is pressed, and will set the appearance based off of it. So if it is pull, then it'll set the material symbol and magnet to the red color. If push, it'll set the material symbol and magnet to the blue color. From here, for pull magnetism, every 0.2 seconds, it will pull the box by checking to see if the magnet is pull, which is instance editable, so you can set it at the start. It'll get all of the interactable entities, and for each one that is entity interactable box, it'll check and make sure that its coordinates are headed in the up direction. So if the tile, if the magnet is pointed upwards, then it will make it so that it pushes the block up. And we do this by checking the magnet direction, which is also instance editable. And if it equals up and we can enter the tile, then we will do activate interaction, which sets all of the in-range tiles to isLit. And then we will play a sound. And it is a very similar process for each of these. What it does is it checks if it is up first, and if it is not, then it'll check if it's down. Then it'll check if it's left, and then it'll check if it's right. For the push mechanic, it is very much the same thing, except we have messed with some of the variables here. And it is up, down, left, and right once more. We also have the darkness tile child. This was a bit of a solution that I had. Essentially, whenever the block would be pushed, a lot of times the tiles, if I updated it too often, then it would flicker uncontrollably. With the Darkness Tile Child, I would put this on the destination and it would minimize that flickering by only doing it whenever the tile reached its destination when triggered by a magnet. Lastly, we have the tile magnet button, which at the start, it will grab the tile color and or it'll change the tile color based off of whether the magnet is push or pull, and it will update the tiles on button press. However, if the player is on the tile and not a block, then it will trigger magnetism based off of the magnet setting. Otherwise, it will hide tiles that are out of range. Lastly, up here we have revealing the tiles or hiding the tiles, which is called through the darkness tile function whenever it is lit. Some of the last changes that I have are that tile wall will be hidden whenever it is adjacent to a darkness tile. Same with the button. However, the button is also revealed whenever it is adjacent to tile floor. Um, for the entity itself, I have a sound that plays whenever it bumps up against a wall. So if the player bumps into a wall, it'll play a sound to discourage the movement. And then I haven't made any changes to tile or player. So that is all. I hope that you enjoyed the translation of this mechanic from Legend of Zelda, the Kokiri Wilds, and turning it into a tile-based mechanic. Thank you so much.